Are we ready to get started?
Yeah, Mary, we were just waiting for you to get started.
Okay. So can I get a list of attendees, please?
Before we start, I want to confirm that you are not,
I am recording.
we are not proceeding if you are recording.
I am recording.
Then we're not proceeding. I
That's
told you you would not.
Regional Center.
You would not.
I am following the regulations. You're familiar with the regulations. So if you choose to terminate the meeting, and I'm very pleased that they have a Regional Center supervisor here because Scott's responsibility to this client is to enforce the Welfare and Institutions Code. So in my opinion, you would be derelict in your duty if you allowed this meeting to be terminated because a parent is following the regulations in recording this meeting. So we don't need to stretch this out. I'm recording the meeting. If you want to terminate, that's your business, and then Cavan and I will do something else. However, there are very important issues which need to be covered. I have already, prior to the meeting, I've already advised Cindy about transportation concerns. I've advised Cindy about the new volunteer internship which Cavan will be participating in on Wednesdays. And that will be an automotive training program. Well, in fact, let me back up. As you know, Cavan, with his family's support, has gotten a permanent position at Amazon that, well, in fact, let me back up even further because I'm so happy that Scott is here. Maybe we'll have a meeting at the Regional Center sometime. Cavan has a history of living independently without conservatorship. He has had a 5-year employment history with Carl's Jr. And then after that, he transferred from Carl's Jr. to Walmart. He had a 9-year employment history with Walmart. And all of that ended on February 1st of 2015 when your agency terminated family provided services for Cavan and put their own vendor in place. Within that year, Cavan was terminated from his 9-year employment due to vendor negligence. He ultimately became homeless. Cavan was homeless for 13 months under the care of your vendor. And ultimately, because Cavan was homeless and his life was decompensated, your executive director got his conservatorship. And now here we are today attempting to get Cavan back to where he was on February 1st of 2015. And we finally were able to get him a really great seasonal job with Amazon, and that ended in January. And now we have him on a permanent position with Amazon, and that needs to be, that's very important for him, and that needs to be supported by this vendor in terms of transportations. So since we're not having a meeting today, this vendor, or I'll talk with them at another point in time, needs to figure out how Cavan is reliably going to get back and forth to the Amazon facility in Riverside. Because the reason he was terminated back in 2015 was because the vendor was unable to get him to work reliably. And when he was at work, he didn't have appropriate job development services. But we have all of that in place now, but the responsibility of the vendor is to get him to his work site on time. His schedule, I forgot, is Sunday. Okay, response. Okay, I am sorry. His schedule is Sunday. Okay, so doesn't matter what the schedule is. I'm sorry, I'm just blathering on. So that, I cannot tell you, Scott, how imperative it is that this, back up and say something that I told Cindy earlier. Regional center responsibility for my son is that he has a roof over his head and his meals and he's safe and all that stuff that's in the Lanterman Act. My responsibility for my son is that before I die, he has achieved his life potential. Cavan, like me, is a person who's like 110% workaholic, and employment is his life. When he was at Walmart, he wore that Walmart vest with tremendous pride, and when you could see the change in his demeanor when he put on that Walmart vest. And that's how he is now. That's how he is now with Amazon. And so we need to keep that up. But the other aspect of Cavan is that he is a mechanical genius. And we need to pursue Cavan's potential in that area. And we've asked your agency and we've asked your vendor to provide a situation so that he could get his ASE certification. And that hasn't happened yet.
He canceled that objective himself when he started working.
Okay.
I spoke to him.
Yes.
And he said that he didn't want to do it anymore, to drop that objective. And that's exactly what I did.
Okay. And here's the other problem that we have. We have service coordinators who cannot communicate directly with the client. The Lanterman Act requires that service coordinators have a cultural and linguistic affinity with their clients. So Sally is reporting what she thinks she was told through an interpreter. But I speak directly with my son. So what we have done is we've gotten him this volunteer internship. He'll talk about Sharif's Auto Care. That's where he will be working. And that needs to be successful for him also, because it may well be a pathway to ASE certification. We don't know what will happen at Amazon. So those are some of the concerns that I had if we were going to have an IPP meeting today. And again, thank you for coming. Because other concerns that I have is, for example, last time we met, talked to Cindy. Oh, Cindy, this is the deaf house? Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
And Kevin is saying I
That-
should drop the ACE because I work overnight.
Okay,
The classes are in the afternoon.
yeah. Cavan is still talking about that, but we've moved on. I explained to Cindy that if you have a deaf house, you should have people who can communicate with your deaf clients in American Sign Language. Well, no one in this program has any training in the field of deafness. No one has certifications or degrees. But I told Cindy, you know, Cindy, there's this thing called the ASLPI, American Sign Language Performance Interview. It's like a 30-minute interview with a tester and an individual that certifies their basic fluency in American Sign Language. Why don't you just do that? Well, to my knowledge, the vendor has never done that. Why wouldn't you? I don't get it. You guys are regional center. You know all about certifications and capabilities and responsibilities. You have a deaf house. Why wouldn't you at least have your staff have basic fluency in American Sign Language? I will speak with Cindy later with Cavan about his health, because I'm very concerned about his weight. I'm concerned about his labs. I have set up an appointment with our family.
You don't need
Okay.
to talk about the labs.
Okay.
What's the problem with the labs?
Okay.
Cindy's gonna do it, don't worry about it.
Okay. I don't, we have, you already know that we have, that Cavan's brother is a regional center client. We have a nutritionist who's done miracles, like a 60-pound weight loss with Cavan's brother, and he's doing spectacularly well today. And so we've made arrangements for regional center to vendor that same nutritionist to work with Cavan. I spoke with her in preparation for this meeting, and she tells me that Cavan only wants to meet once a month, and that's his decision. So, but that's still an issue. Cavan's weight is still an issue, and it's very important for his overall health. And in my opinion, that situation is not being properly addressed through his regional center services. And again, I'm so glad you're here, Scott, because I think you know about the DDS directive to regional center executive directors regarding conserved clients. So do you have an update for us on that?
No, no.
Oh, no.
He's taping. There will absolutely be no discussion with reference to Cavan
Okay.
if Carl is taping it.
So
Thank you,
I'm,
response.
it's kind of, I feel it's like humiliating to you, Scott, as a professional, to be dictated to by Mary O'Neill. But I can always touch bases with you offline. And it should be, you know, everybody should take note of this. I'll explain now. Mary is a court-appointed attorney with probate court. She is paid by the number of hours that she puts in on this case. The more complicated, the more contentious, the more difficult this case is, the more billable hours for Mary. So in my opinion, Mary's motivation is to make this case as difficult as possible so she has more billable hours. And then we've already talked about the issue of changing the service coordinator because Cavan needs a service coordinator who has the cultural and linguistic affinity that's spelled out in the Lanterman Act. So that was everything, Scott, I'm so glad you're here. Everything that I believe I would have brought up if we were having an IPP meeting today.
Carl, this Sharif's Auto Care, is that something that was arranged through the regional center or
Yeah.
DDS?
You understand I'm still recording.
I understand.
Okay.
My question
Sharif's
is-
Auto Care is,
My question is, was that arranged through them?
it
or
was
is this
not
something
arranged
that
through the
you did?
regional center. That
Is-
was a family
Okay, is it
arrangement.
something that the conservator has approved?
Who is the conservator?
The Department of Developmental Services?
Well, I'm going to assume now that Scott or you will inform the conservator because I've never had any contact with the conservator and I work directly with my son.
Okay,
I
so-
told him,
Okay, so you understand.
Kevin, you told him?
I think it was Jeff that I'm starting next Wednesday.
Okay, he spelled out Sharif.
Sharif knows that I'm gonna start on Wednesday. I'm gonna volunteer over there.
Yeah, did you talk to anybody at DDS or the regional center about it?
I don't know who to contact.
Okay,
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do.
okay. No, that's something that.
That's
They're-
fine.
they're
I'm
the
glad you're
conser-
clarifying this.
They're the conservator, so they need to know what's going on. So that's
I
why.
don't
Okay.
care about that part, I just wanna volunteer at this place.
No, I understand,
Yeah.
but we have to make sure that everybody's on the same page and that they know what's going on.
So I'll
Because
tell you,
ultimately,
Scott,
because- Excuse me, because ultimately DDS is the one that's responsible.
It's only on Wednesday.
Right, but you just need to keep them in the loop. It's just a matter of communication. I'm sure that there won't be an issue.
so I will tell
I
you,
mean, I don't know who I'm supposed to contact. Who is the contact person over there?
Well, you could certainly talk to Sally. And then Sally could coordinate the approvals or
Oh, will you do that? Are
or
you gonna contact
communication.
them?
You have you have my card? Yeah.
Yeah,
Sally
So-
knows that Cavan communicates with her frequently on text message. Because as you
Yeah, I
know,
have your text number. We text.
Cavan shares your communication with me, and I will sometimes respond to you through his text phone. You are aware of all of that. So,
Yeah, my dad will help me sometimes. And my English isn't that great, so he helps me clarify. But I already told you.
to the credit of your agency, because Cavan's conservatorship, let me say something inflammatory, was obtained through fraud by filing false declarations with the court. That's how you got his conservatorship. Perhaps because of that, or perhaps for other reasons. To the credit of your agency, you have been hands off. I deal with my son. No one ever says, oh, you can't see your son, or you can't do this with your son. Everybody has been hands off. And that's good for Cavan and our family. And once you move to the new situation where you will have a separate conservator, what's the name of the group that will now handle conserved clients? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, for the record, head nod. It will be more formal so that we can have a pathway for Cavan out of conservatorship, because that's what we want. I feel so bad for you, Scott, to be humiliated by this attorney.
I have a concern about the transportation because he's going to another county.
Okay,
If
I
he's
can't.
going to another county, Riverside County, we are in LA County. If he has access, don't go to another county. If he does Uber, it's gonna be 100 and something per trip.
Okay,
That's my concern,
would-
transportation.
okay. I did not hear, and I didn't understand all of that.
the concern about the transportation is that it is in another county, and so access won't take him. And if he Ubers, it's gonna be $100 each way.
Well, then tell me what to do. It's my decision. You can't tell me what to do. I'm not playing games with you. We're gonna sue you. I'm gonna kick you off the team. I don't want to mess around anymore.
So are you at a different facility?
You'll see.
Are you at a different facility than the one you were working in before the end of the year?
April and April, I'm not messing around anymore. I'm trying to resolve it. Just calm down. You don't need to get upset. It's fine. I'm just really mad. She can't tell me what to do. It's my decision. Who applied for the job? Who applied? It was me. It was not you. Please, can you don't get so upset? I don't care. She can't tell me what to do. She can't criticize me. She can't tell me what to do. I'm not messing around.
So what you're observing right now, Scott, is why it is so important for Cavan to live independently with control over his own life. This was his situation until February 1st of 2015. The reason Cavan is having this emotional reaction is that he feels that he has agency over his own life, and he's not going to be controlled by other forces.
That is correct. I don't want anybody controlling me.
Stop.
Stop. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want to leave. That is the goal.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I have a future. You're making it worse when you scream. I want to make sure she understands what I'm saying. Okay, but you need
Okay.
to stop.
And I
So,
understand, so.
this
stop.
is what we
Carl,
need to
please,
be
I had a question and I would like
for.
an answer to it.
Okay, go
Stop.
ahead.
Are you at a different place than where you were before the end of the year?
The lady, DDS, the woman with the glasses, she explained what the process was that I could move to become independent
Okay, but,
in Long Beach.
right, but well, you can't work at Amazon and live in Long Beach.
Okay,
Here, let
that's
me-
not,
let
you're
me-
not understanding him.
No, no, no,
And
I
you're not
know.
understanding what
Cavan,
he said.
I don't want to talk about moving from here. My question is about Amazon. You were working at a facility at Amazon before the end of the year. Are you at the same
I
place?
was laid off.
I know. But where you're working,
I don't have a job. I didn't have a job for 4 weeks, but now I got this blue card because I've been going to training and I started a new job. And I'm asking where. It's in Riverside.
I know, that's what I'm asking you, is if it's at a different facility, at a different building than the one that you were at before.
It's a new building.
Okay.
You have,
And do you know if there is any opportunity?
I'm gonna be working in the packing and loading area, so I'm packing up, taking boxes, and it's closer.
the solution for
Excuse me, I'm
Cavan
sorry.
is
Stop.
transportation.
Cavan is talking now, and we're gonna listen to you,
I
okay?
know, so I'm working in like the shipping where people, there's different codes and stuff for the houses that the box is gonna be shipped to, and so I'm gonna be working in that area. I was laid off originally, but now I worked my way up and I have this other, I'm working in another facility. Is that clear?
Okay, yes, so are you doing essentially the same thing that you were doing in the place where you were before the end of the year?
It's a little bit different. I'm loading boxes, which is a little bit different. I was doing packing before, packing up and taking the boxes.
Do you know if the employment is site-specific, that it's that job for that building, or can you transfer between buildings?
I think we do have the ability to transfer, but that's after I learn more and then I can transfer potentially.
So where is the place that you are now?
I'm sorry to interrupt. This is the interpreter. We didn't realize that the meeting was being recorded still. And so
I know, they
we
did.
just need to let you know, we really are not supposed to continue interpreting if it's being recorded.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Okay, and I'm sorry, Cavan, I can talk to you afterwards. I just want to get a little more detail about the work, okay? All right.
Okay, and you know that interpreter don't want interpreted because copy. So you
The
understand.
agency needs to inform us ahead of time so
Yeah,
that we can make the
well.
decision of to take the assignment
Yeah.
or not.
That's fine. That was their responsibility.
I did. I let them know that you were not authorized to record it.
Okay,
She would be
that's
recording.
fine. So you are being recorded and you're being recorded by her. You understand that? But that's not the issue, you're professional interpreters and the regulations are what the regulations are. So that's highly unprofessional on the part of an interpreter to suddenly bail out on an interpreting
Actually,
assignment,
it's
so
not.
that's
We
fine.
do need to be informed
Yeah.
ahead of time, and we know that a previous meeting was recorded and posted on social media.
Yes,
With our names and incorrect information, so
okay,
there's no
that's fine.
way possible.
If you have
to
any
fix that.
concerns about any information about you being posted on social media, you should be complaining directly to YouTube or whatever is that other social media,
No, I'm
and
talking
they will
about
rectify
your
that.
recording had incorrect
Mhm.
information
That's
on it
good.
about
Okay.
the interpreter.
Well, you can always direct, every website on the internet has a responsible party. And you can contact that responsible party and make them aware of any situations. YouTube, in fact, I'll even tell you, in my case, this goes back a number of years, someone complained about one of my YouTube videos, and YouTube took it down until I blurred the faces of the people, and then the video went back up. So, you're talking to an octogenarian who has been involved with the internet since before there was an internet. So the internet is a very, very important tool for human and social justice. So that's what my website is all about, seeking justice for my son.
And
So-
posting personal information is a violation
And
of privacy.
it just needs to be called to my attention.
It is
and-
called to
okay,
your
that's
attention.
fine.
You are not allowed to post any of
Okay.
Cavan's personal information. And the information that you posted in September
Mhm.
was a violation of his rights.
Then,
And that is why you are
Then-
prohibited
okay.
from
Well,
taking
you need
any further
all of
means.
that needs to be in the form of court orders or findings or whatever.
No.
So far,
No, I'm telling you why
okay,
we are not
that's fine.
voluntarily agreeing that you can record.
That's fine.
And that's why.
So all of that needs to be properly adjudicated. And
Hey,
here
I'm
we
just
are.
telling you, you're
You
not
can
gonna
tell
be
me.
recording his meetings.
Okay, I am
And he's
recording
gonna-
this meeting,
and
as you
he's
know.
gonna- We're not having a meeting, Carl. You're having.
Okay, well, we're having a
lecture.
we're having a
and we're all
conversation.
sitting here. So are you done with your lecture?
I am done communicating with you those issues. So if
Okay.
you're done, then
We're good.
maybe you and me now. Is it?
No, actually, I'm gonna meet with Cavan now.
Okay. Well, have your meeting with Cavan, because Cavan and I will be going out.
Okay.
So, Cass, the meeting's done?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, everybody, I appreciate
I
everybody coming.
need the interpreter still.
Bye, Kevin. Have a good weekend, okay?
Cavan, do you wanna go in your room or do you want me to kick everybody out of here?
Yeah,
Are you gonna
text me.
call?
Yeah.
Are you gonna, can I call you on the video phone?
Yes. Yeah, I'm off today at
It doesn't
3.
matter where we meet, he's answering your thing. It doesn't
Okay.
matter where we meet, here or there.
Oh, okay, I thought he was talking to me. No.
Now you might be.
He's asking, who do I call on the video phone?
Oh,
Scott or you? I
Oh.
didn't catch your name, I'm sorry.
my,
Who do I call on the video phone? Which of you do I call?
I guess it would be me? Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
It was an honor to meet you, Scott. Thank you so much for coming.
So Cavan, let's go in your room.